Most people are aware that getting a really good night's sleep on a consistent basis is critically important, but most people don't know how to do that.
Can you recall the last time you woke up without an alarm clock, feeling refreshed and not needing coffee? The shorter your sleep, the shorter your lifespan is. The old maxim, "I'll sleep when I'm dead," is therefore unfortunate. As sadly as it sounds, human beings are in fact the only species that will deliberately deprive themselves of sleep without legitimate gain. Critically, it's very important to know, especially to people after 30, that routinely sleeping less than 6 hours a night demolishes your immune system, more than doubling your risk of cancer and diabetes. But that's not only it. Short sleeping increases the likelihood of your coronary arteries becoming blocked, setting you on a path towards cardiovascular disease and stroke. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman found the best solution to any sleeping problems.
So we're really going to go tool heavy today and talk about tools that can help you fall asleep, sleep better, don't even really feeling lazy. However, it will increase motivation and emerge from sleep feeling more rested. And this is why whenever people ask me, what should I take? Which is one of the most common questions I get. What supplements should I take? What drugs should I be taking? What things should I be taking? The first question I always ask them is, how's your sleep? And 90% of the time they tell me they either have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, or they don't feel rested throughout the day. If you turn on the lights before waking up, so around 45 minutes to an hour before waking up, even if your eyelids are closed, provided you're not under the covers, after doing that for a few days, that increases your total sleep time and shifts forward the time at which you feel sleepy. It makes you want to go to bed earlier each night. Now, in a kind of diabolical way, they did this with teenagers who are notorious for wanting to wake up late and stay up late. And what they found was bright light flashes, just turning on the lights in their environment, overhead lights, because they're trying to activate the system, and that's why they're using overhead lights, even through the eyelids, before these kids woke up, then made those kids naturally want to go to bed earlier, and they ended up sleeping longer. So that's something you could try. You could put your lights on a timer to go on early in the day before you wake up. You could open your blinds so that sunlight is coming through. And again, if you curl up under the covers, then it's not going to reach these neurons, but it's remarkable the light can actually penetrate the eyelids, activate these neurons, and go to the central clock. You have the capacity for what are called phase advances and phase delays. And I don't want to complicate this too much. So the simplest way to think about phase advances and phase delays is that if you see light late in the day, and in particular in the middle of the night, your brain and body will think that that's morning light, even though it's not sunlight, because you have this heightened sensitivity. And it will phase delay. It will delay your clock. It will essentially make you want to get up later and go to sleep later. So the simple way to think about this is if you're having trouble waking up early and feeling alert early in the day, you're going to want to try and get bright light exposure even before waking up, because it will advance your clock. It's sort of like turning the clock forward. Whereas if you are having trouble waking up early, you definitely don't want to get too much light exposure or any light exposure to your eyes late in the evening and in the middle of the night, because it's just going to delay your clock more and more. And when you start doing that by controlling your sleep environment, right? Get the proper sleep surface, get the proper pillow, get the temperature in the room right, get your light exposure right, start timing your exercise at normal periods or times throughout the day and week. It's amazing how many other biological systems just naturally fall in line. A brief note about naps. Naps, provided that they're less than one ultradian cycle, provided they're 20 minutes or 30 minutes or even an hour, can be very beneficial for a lot of people. For some of you, naps are great. I love taking naps. Some people, they wake up from naps feeling really groggy. That's probably because they're not sleeping as well as they should at night, or as long as they should at night, and so they're dropping into REM sleep or deeper forms of sleep in the daytime. And then they wake up and they feel kind of disoriented. Other people feel great after a nap. So that's another case where, just like with caffeine, you sort of have to evaluate for yourself.